I actually don't agree with you, but I always think it's good to listen to someone else's opinion.
Give me the big thing you don't agree about, just before we crack on.
Well, there's various things. I think you're quite left, and I'm more central. And
what does that mean,
you're more
though?
liberal.
You know how it works. I always like to know what you mean by when we use words.
Yeah, you're a bit more patient with things, and
you're against patience.
No.
What do you mean then, Brian?
Well, I just wanted to have an honest conversation with you.
Well, we are now. We're starting off with the things that you disagree with me about, and so far we've got patience on the list.
Well, just a lot of the conversations that you have on the show. That's all I meant.
Yeah. So what do you disagree with me about?
So talking about today, the leader of the opposition.
I'm going to insist you come up with at least one example of all the many, many things that you often disagree with me about.
Oh no, I just meant in general conversation.
I know. Yeah. So let's just have one example.
Okay, like today. I don't agree.
Well, let's run through it. Was the law broken on 20 different occasions?
Yeah, I agree.
Was Boris Johnson right when he said? Was Boris Johnson right when he said all guidance had been followed?
No, and
so what are we disagreeing about? What are we disagreeing about?
I disagree with the Conservatives and what they've done. But what I think is that the opposition is that bad. And you're talking about the truth, and the leader of the opposition yesterday couldn't say whether a woman has a penis, and he refused to answer it. And
this is what you're holding up in response to the fact that the law has been broken 20 times in Downing Street. Would you like me to help you out? I mean, I'm going to let you off telling me what it is that you disagree with me about, because when you say patience,
the ploughman sandwich, for example, you keep going on about this ploughman sandwich today.
Yes, and it's a ploughman's lunch, mate. It's a ploughman's lunch. If you put it in a sandwich,
why rename it then?
It stops being a sandwich. Well, the landlord of the pub said he was doing it for fun.
Oh, he's doing it for fun. Okay, then, yeah. So so he's done it for fun. You downplay the fact.
The landlord of the pub, the bloke that did it.
The people on the right, or the Daily Mail readers that you always say.
The bloke that did it said he was doing it for fun, and you're here to complain about a joke now.
Wow, it seems that jokes can be quite serious these days, isn't it?
A joke about cheese.
A joke about anything.
A joke about cheese. You're on national radio getting cross about a joke regarding cheese.
I'm not getting cross, buddy. I'm not getting cross.
All right, then. So why have you brought it up as an example of something that we disagree about?
Because you keep bringing it up today about the ploughman sandwich. I don't think the name of it is important. I don't care what it's called. Isn't, so why rename it?
Because you care what it's called. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to Keir Starmer.
Okay.
And the question about the difference between the biological definition of a woman and the legal definition of a woman.
Okay.
So you know that they're different.
Yes.
Right. So that's why it's a silly question that is asked for entirely provocative reasons, designed to feed red meat to people like you. So just in a sentence,
having an opposition that's pro IRA as well.
Yes. Okay, but that's not true, is it, Brian? You're Brian. I'm James. That's not true. Okay, so let's just talk through. Let's run through the simple question of why Keir Starmer distinguishing between the biological and legal definition of a woman for you is more important than the law being broken 20 times in Downing Street. That's all I want from you now, mate.
I wouldn't say it's just that alone. I'd say
that's the example you've brought to the party. So let's just focus on why that is more important than the law, the actual law. I won't patronise you by explaining what the law is. The actual law, the laws that I think you probably obeyed, and if you didn't, then people you care about did, and loved ones. So the actual law was broken on at least 20 different occasions, and you think that Keir Starmer's understanding of the difference between a biological and a legal definition of the law, as a lawyer, the definition of a woman, you think it's more important.
His opinion on it.
Yeah.
His opinion on that.
No, I want your opinion. Your opinion on why it's more important.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my opinion if you let me talk.
Yeah, I will do.
My opinion
is
that is his attitude towards that opinion is more important for me than what the Conservatives have done. But it's not.
Let's just pause there. Let's pause there. His attitude towards that opinion is more important for you than what the Conservatives have done. Those are the words that you actually say. Can you unpack that?
It's all I'm trying to say. It's not just that one. I think we've got.
Well, let's pick another one then. Let's pick another one then.
Okay. the fact that Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the
he's not in the Labour Party anymore, Brian. So let's pick another. Let's talk about people who are actually in the Labour Party.
Labour MPs voted him in.
Yes, but he's not in the Labour Party. And Labour MPs didn't vote him in, Brian.
He got banished for anti-Semitism.
Brian, Labour MPs didn't vote him in. Labour MPs desperately tried to get rid of him on many occasions. This is the problem, my friend, with obsessing about penises, is that you end up being...
I'm really not there.
You end up... Well, you brought it up. I didn't. You brought up cheese and penises today. And now you're demonstrating an almost weapons-grade ignorance of what happened when Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party.
You're downplaying my opinion.
No, mate, I'm laughing at your opinion.
It's not important what you think, Ryan, because it's not important because...
No, I'm asking why you think that is more important than 20 individual cases of law breaking, to which you responded by saying it's not just that, to which I said, well, what else is it? And then you talked some gibberish about Labour MPs electing Jeremy Corbyn, so we'll pass on from that because that's embarrassing for everybody. You've brought up cheese and penises, so now I want to know what else do you put on the other side of the scales? Because here are 20 examples of law breaking by the current government, by members of the current government. 20 specific examples of law breaking, and you think Labour is worse because...
Labour is worse because obviously they're so left that I can't...
What does that mean? What does that word mean?
Well, it's a whole range of things on a whole range of topics.
Go on then. Don't mention cheese or penises. Just give me the whole range of things.
Well, they just downplay everything.
For example,
it's a whole range of things.
Go on then. You keep saying range of things. You can't name one.
It's their principles on a lot of things.
Yeah, go on. Give me one. Give me your favourite.
Like on jails, for example, like giving them lenient sentences and stuff like that.
Judges give sentences.
Yeah.
Not Labour politicians. Try again.
Well, I just wanted to say that I just don't agree with Labour and
on what?
That's
what?
The reason. Because I
Try
can't
again.
vote
Come on.
for it. I'd just like
you can
another
do this.
opposition.
Yeah, go on. What don't you agree with them on?
In there. Because of their left ideas.
For example,
left ideas
give me the worst left idea they've got, but don't mention cheese or penises.
I haven't obviously got them all in front of me.
No, I only need one.
Oh, I can't think off the top of my head.
You're on national radio.
Yeah.
Convinced that you've got really strong arguments to explain why breaking the law on 20 separate occasions is not as bad as being the Labour Party. I say, what's bad about the Labour Party? And you've got nothing. There it is. Sometimes you wonder why I obsess about right-wing media, right-wing news.